Hey, so what's up? So I think today I'm in the mood for making some ramps. Been having this itch for a while, and after so many intense projects with lots of technical details and accuracy, I feel like I want to do a little ramp building and have a little bit of fun with that. And we should be able to get that done rather quickly. So let's go. I'm thinking I want to reproduce a ramp I've already made once. A friend of mine actually has it at his place, but I just want to remake it. It's a fun ramp. It has a rail up there. The rail I might want to make modular, like that you can put it here where it is, or have a couple holes so you can move it there. That'd be maybe fun. Why not here too, you know? I have a ramp like that made by an old school French brand, and it's actually made from concrete. It's a very fun ramp. That curve is quite tight, so that would be challenging to make out wood. That's going to be challenging, but I want to do that. I want to do that. That one too. Oh yeah. Yeah. Easy. That's going to be the top. 205. And the angle, I'm not sure. Something more gentle. First, I removed the bulk of the material at the bandsaw. And then I switched over to the table saw to get nice straight cuts and trim everything to size. And then I also cut the pieces that were going to be the base. To get a nice joint on this angle, I can actually just butt them up and it won't show on the outside. And for this joint, I could have cut the pieces at that angle that I'm drawing right there, but actually any angle bigger than this one will also do, as the pieces of the base will meet to a point and it will look seamless from the outside. And I could then glue and nail the pieces. The nails are just there to hold the pieces together while the glue dries. I then trimmed the ends off at the table saw again, and nope, I didn't really like this piece flying off. And then I just marked with a pencil for the length of the caps, the end pieces, and here I am gluing them on. I mean, it doesn't even have any copings or anything, it's already fun, so it's pretty cool. And Mauro just happened to walk in with a new chair for the office. And yes, we do kiss when we greet in Argentina, even with men.
¿Eso para video?
Sí.
¿Ah, estás grabando? Está bueno.
For fun, yeah.
No.
So now I've got to put some copings on this ramp, and for that I have to use my nemesis, the router table. Some of you might know that I actually nicked the tip of my finger 2 years ago, I think. Maybe a little more than that. I'm sorry I'm giving you the finger. Not sure anyone wants to see this, but just so you know, woodworking is dangerous. And you should be careful. Don't just go and start using cutting tools without knowing what you're doing or being surrounded by people that can teach you, okay? the nails that I shot earlier, they're under the coping, and I set the nail gun on the deepest setting so that I know that the nail heads are going to be recessed and I don't hit them with the router bit. Okay, so now all I gotta do is wrap up the inside of the copings with some rough sandpaper so that the glue has something to adhere to. And we're actually gonna use the same glue that we use to glue our boards. Up. Easy peasy. I think while the glue is setting on this guy, I'm actually gonna get working on this guy. This one, it's a bank this way and a quarter this way. But I think I'm gonna cheat a little bit this time. What I eventually decided to do was to model the ramp in 3D, and then I headed over to the CNC. The CNC is one of my favorite tools. I think it's really fun to use, and what I'm doing here is a 3D carving. So at first I remove the bulk of the material and I'm left with this kind of scaled model of the ramp, and then I'll go with a ball end mill that does a ton of tiny passes until the final shape finally emerges from the block of wood. So can twisted, like me, it's gonna work just fine. Like me, right on. Okay, so it's the next day. This thing is now dry. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. I kind of want to deal with the whole rail situation here. I'm thinking I'm gonna be making one rail that's a V and that you can put on either side, and then I want to make a rail that only spans this area and that you can put here, 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 or here, and it's gonna make a very versatile ramp. But I cannot weld. So I have to figure out a way to make a rail without welding anything. But I have an idea on how I'm going to achieve this.
Ahí lo clavaste, ¿eh?
Ajá. Oh yeah. Mauro was in the back making some blisters for the packaging of our boards, and we decided to have a little party. So what I did to make the feet for the rails is that I had the ball nose end mill still in the CNC, so I just put a scrap wood on the CNC and I just run a couple passes until I had a slot large enough for the 9.5 millimeter rail that I was going to use. Then I drilled a hole under a couple of the feet of the rail, and I wrote down the space between the center of these holes so that I could then transfer it to the ramp and drill corresponding holes in the ramp. I then glued a couple of dowels under the feet, and we were ready to test the ramps.
Don't wanna complicate ya.